Yo, 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 YouTube, and welcome back to another video on the channel. And today we're going to be going over the new draft that's been dropped on Sorare, and that is the La Liga EA Sports Amateur Draft. And in this video, like the previous one, I'm going to be giving you some tips, showing you the team that I've made, hoping to bring you to some success in that amateur division. If you enjoy the content, I really appreciate if you could drop me a thumbs up below, a subscribe to the channel, and comment me with what team you've decided to go with or any changes that you'd like to see in mine. Without further ado, let's get into it. Right, so let's have a look at the EA Sports Amateur Draft. So, again, like we did with the previous videos, always want to start with the keepers, or at least that's what I want to do. I've noticed the, I don't think this was on last time, was it, with the little form indicator underneath. But yeah, this graphic looks like it's changed very recently. I don't know if that's been on there before, but I've not noticed this. Don't know if anyone else has. But keeper-wise, again, I like to look for the cheap bargain first. So let's have a look for the 40. Let's do this in order. Would make sense, wouldn't it? Do it by highest points. Let's have a look at the 40 keepers. Let's see some of the bargains that we've got in here. So This is I quite like this feature that's been added in because you can kind of see straight away if the player's been playing. So it's quite a useful feature. Yeah, the scores are under there. Quite a useful feature to have there because you can see straight away that these are not starting keepers. This guy played a game 5 games ago, but he hasn't played since. So, or is it the other way around? Let's quickly check that. Oh, that's the last game. Sorry. The last game is on the left. So he played the last game, but he didn't actually do very well. So this guy's played the last 3. So for me, straight away, looking at some of the bargains, Stole is always a bargain because he is actually capable of getting bigger scores. He's definitely someone that's worth having on the bench, especially if you get him in a fixture one week where they got a decent fixture. Yo, Adam, yeah, it's going shocking, dude. That's best not talk about midweek lineups, that's for sure, 100%. But yeah, like you can see with this guy, he's capable of getting those high scores. He's a busy keeper. So definitely worth looking at Stole at 40. Who else have we got in here that's definitely worth looking at? He's probably, oh, and we got Ivan Villar as well for Celta Vigo. Terrible fixture this week. But again, he plays every week. So if you just want someone to sit on your bench. But for me, the first player going in this squad is going to be Stole. I don't even need to really think too much about that. And then we need a keeper that we're probably going to start most weeks unless Stole has a really good fixture. So we'll scroll up here. We'll have a look. So next sort of range of keepers, we've got Jorgensen, but Villarreal are quite a leaky team. We've got Rui Silva, who's a 44 L15. Has had a couple of decent scores in there for Betis. Mamadashvili, but I'll be honest, I've never been on the Mamadashvili hype. There's too many low scores with him. So we are probably going to have to go a little bit more expensive with the keeper because I don't think the options down there are great other than Stole, unless we wanted to start Stole every week, but I'd rather not, to be honest. Got Dimitrovic for Seville. Again, Seville are a little bit up and down. He does DMP every so often as well. David Soria is not a bad shout. He does actually score pretty well most weeks for Getafe. Getafe seem to be a little bit stronger this season than what they have been. Rajkovic is a bit in and out of the team. Courtois obviously injured. Severa is a very good keeper. Some really good scores in there. 51 L15 is not bad. We've obviously got Oblak, but it's not a great fixture this week against Atletico Madrid. Ledesma is a very good keeper of 51 for Cadiz. They have Betis this week as well. Not a bad fixture. I don't know if I'm 100% sold on these guys. I think for me as well, looking at this, like we are going to have to go for the higher end of the spectrum. So keepers, I may have a big boy keeper in this team that I don't usually do. So we may either look at Ter Stegen at 57, and they have Celta Vigo this week as well, which is actually a pretty good fixture. But it obviously stops us having more Barcelona players in the outfield. Alex Ramiro, who he's capable of some bigger scores, but is a little bit inconsistent with their defence. Unai Simon is very interesting to me, and a good fixture this week as well. So I think I'm either looking at Unai Simon or Ter Stegen. And I think if I go Unai Simon, not only does it give me another 3 points, it also allows me to have 2 Barcelona outfield players. So I'm going to slap in Unai Simon. We may change that. Let's look at, I think forwards is probably the most important position. I've not been impressed with Griezmann so far in terms of what he's done this season. Doesn't seem to be as powerful a scorer as what he was last year. Now, Lewandowski has been in pretty insane form. Could be a really good player to have in the team. Taki, the guys that join in the streams will know that I really like this lad. Got Getafe this week. It's not a horrendous fixture. I think it's at home as well. I think it's a pretty good fixture. 63. Who else have we got in this top end? Victor is a really good player. Gerard Moreno is very consistent at 54. Got Rodrigo at 54. And who else is in here? Rafi has been in pretty decent form, to be fair. Decent game against Antwerp last night as well. Vinny is in there at 50, but is obviously carrying an injury, which expected back early October. He might be someone that you look at swapping in somewhere down the line, because at 50, his L15 is actually quite low at the moment. And we've got Joselu in there, who's actually been in really good form for Real Madrid. Doesn't get a great deal of AA. De Vickers has obviously come over to a new club, so he hasn't quite settled in yet. Sorloth's been in not too bad form. Again, he's just decisive dependent. But I think what we're going to do here, there could be some bargains lower down. William Jose, half decent form. Berenexia. Gorka Guretsa. Absolutely butchering that name as well. There doesn't seem to be in the forward category a lot of players further down. Hugo Duro, actually at 42, could be someone worth putting in for the points. I actually like this one. I actually do like this one as someone in lower, because I think in the drafts I tend to like having in the full team 2 defenders or 2 mids rather than 2 forwards. But this does give me the option if he gets a good game week. So to keep the points down, I don't think there's going to be anyone else lower down here. Correa. None of these cards are really screaming out to me. En-Nesyri. Unai in. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to go with Duro. Hugo Duro, young lad, seems to be in pretty decent form. And then I think we're going to put next to him a big boy. So yeah, I think to go next to Duro, I think we're either going to have Lewandowski or Taki. I think I'm going to put Lewandowski in there for the time being, but I may want to change it depending on who else is available, because the midfielders look pretty juicy for Barca, but also the defenders are going to look pretty juicy. Now, there is one player that I have to have in this draft because I'm a massive fan of him. He is very high in L15 that he's going to kill the rest of our lineup, but Jude Bellingham has to be in this team. He is the Kimmich of La Liga. Couple of poor games here. I say poor, 53, 55. That's probably not going to win you anything in amateur, but this guy most weeks is going to score high end. So Jude Bellingham has to go in. That leaves us 128 for 3 positions. We have got 3 starting players in the outfield so far, but he's going to make it very tight for the rest of the positions. So for me, guys, I'm going to mention these players, but they're not going to go on my team because I can't afford to put them in now. So Frankie de Jong and Ilkay Gundogan are definitely worth looking at. Rodrigo de Paul's a solid player. Problem with Toni Kroos is gets rotated a little bit. Pedri's had an injury. Robert 1 is a very good option for 57. Izzy is a very good player too. Tchouameni is a great scorer. Isco's not a bad scorer actually recently this season as well. Marcus Llorente can score very well. Valverde is a very good scorer. I'm a big fan of Valverde. At 53 is quite a decent price. Camavinga's been in and out of the team, so at 51 I probably wouldn't look at him. Now we need someone a little bit more on the bargain side though. Ideally, Suso's not bad value at 49, but we can't afford to go Suso. Modric at 48. We could do a Modric at 48, but then we would literally need to go 40 and 40. I'd rather not. I'm going to need a slightly higher defender. So we're going to have to look down. Gavi's not a bad option at 46. But we're probably going to have to look at starting midfielders around about a 40. Or a 42. Somewhere around that sort of ballpark. Aymar's not a bad little option. 21-year-old lad. Got a lot of potential in him. Have Cisse looks like he gets into the team. Carlos Lena, coming off the back of a decent score. Ibanez, I think I might. Villar. This is a tough one. To be honest, this guy probably isn't going to play every week, so I think we'll go with a 40. Lamela is not a bad shout, though. I think I'm going to go for the sake of keeping the rating down, I am going to go Gonzalo Villa as my selection in there. So that leaves us with 88 for 2 defenders. Right, let's have a look at the defenders. So we've got 88, but I'm going to go over some names that you guys might want to look in there if you've decided to go a little bit cheaper on your outfield players, or maybe the keeper you've gone a little bit cheaper. So Jules Koundé is definitely one to look at. This guy is just a beast week in, week out. As far as defenders go, he's an absolute beast. His L15 is a 68 though, so it's a little bit on the higher side. Christensen is a cheaper option. Also mentioned by the chat, he has been scoring pretty well. The only thing I would say with Christensen is his scores are a little bit through the middle. I don't know if they're high enough, other than when he does things like an 89 occasionally. I don't know if they're high enough for you to be winning rewards every week. You need that ability to bang in the 80, 90 pluses in the amateur because the scoring is so high. Hamari Traore is a very good defender for Sociedad. Carvajal's been in really decent form, and his L15 is a 54, not too bad. Molina's a solid option. We'll look at some of Molina's scoring. Again, though, he does seem to DMP quite a bit. Then we've got Savage is another great option in there at 52. Hermosa's a decent option as well. And then we've got a little bit lower down. David Alaba at 49, I think, is a little bit of a steal. Yes, there's some lower end scoring in here, but Alaba definitely has that big 100 capable, 90 plus capable scoring. He had quite a few injuries last season, so there's not a lot to go on, but he is a fine player, that is for sure. Balde, maybe, if you wanted a Barcelona defender in there. We're probably going to need to get 2 like 44s that can play. We've obviously got a forward in Duro that we can put in the team, and he can bang as well. But we are probably going to need to find 2 guys around about 44 under. Ferland Mendy's still injured. Is definitely worth having a look at when he gets back from his injury. Who else we got further down in here? So we got options do not get that good as we go further down. Florian Lejeune is a solid option of 43. We've got Danny Vivian. Again, the scoring is a little bit through the middle. What we might have to do here is go for a 48 defender and a 40 defender to try and get this squad put together. Now, Rudiger's an interesting option. I like Rudiger at 40. We've only got the 1 Real Madrid player so far as well, so we could look at a Rudiger. Like, the scoring hasn't been great, but he definitely has that higher capability in one of the game weeks to bang, and I think a 40 is worth having in the squad. That then gives us 48, and that should get us something slightly better than what we have there. So let's have a look a bit. We have got this Thierry that's coming off the back of an 89 against Atletico Madrid. It's going to be tough for 48. We might have to change the keeper. That might be something. Or we look at Balde. Balde or Duarte. Duarte can be a really good scorer. Again, a little bit through the middle of late, but he does have the bigger capability scores in him. I feel like Balde might be the option. Although the scoring is a bit through the middle, he's still a young lad. All you need is one game week. It's a shame Alaba's 49. We've obviously already used 2 Real Madrid anyway. I may well potentially change the keeper. Or I look at someone that I can pair up with Unai Simon. Especially for this game week, that might be the play. So if we fill this by teams, I think we'll do a defensive stack. Oh, we can get the filter to work. So 48, we could go to Marcos. I might actually check and see if DeMarcos is predicted to play, because that could be a really good shout. All the other guys, Vivian is obviously playing quite a bit at the moment, but I'm not sure I'd like him. I think I kind of want DeMarcos. I'm going to have a check and see if he's in the... Right, so we've checked DeMarcos, and I think he's going to be the guy. He looks like he's predicted to play this weekend. We can go with a defensive stack with Unai Simon. So we're going to go for DeMarcos as our last player at 48. So I'm happy with that team now. I think it looks pretty solid. We're going to confirm that. We're going to show you how it lines up this game week. So we're going to go Unai Simon. You could well play Stole this week against Villarreal. I don't think it's a horrendous fixture for Stole. So for a 40 keeper, if you wanted someone to start this weekend and you wanted to spend 40 on the other keeper, that would free up 14 there for you. So you could do that. And then we're going to go DeMarcos with that defensive stack with a goalkeeper. And then we're going to go Jude. And we're going to go Robert Lewandowski. Now, the only thing I've got to decide now is who I want as the extra. Now, I'm not a massive fan of this fixture for Rudiger. We could go Gonzalo Villar, who has been a little bit in and out of the team. But I think I'm going to go Hugo Duro this week against Almeria. I think this is a great fixture. The guy's in decent form. He's done it against Atletico Madrid. It's a very good fixture for him. And then for me, I think the captaincy has to be Jude Bellingham. So that's how we're going to line up in our La Liga EA Sports draft. Unai Simon in goal, DeMarcos with the pairing, Jude Bellingham as captain in midfield, Robert Lewandowski up front, and then Hugo Duro to finish it off. And we're going to confirm that. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video, guys. Please, if you could drop a subscribe down below, a like and a comment. Let me know who you've gone for in your La Liga EA Sports amateur draft. And I will catch you on the next one. Peace.